What's up guys, it's Meg and welcome back to Meg After Dark. Today we're taking a look dead ahead to see what's coming on next week's episode of The Walking Dead. We're discussing our predictions and thoughts for season 7 episode 2 called The Well. I am so very excited for this episode. For one, we definitely need a break from that season premiere. To be honest with you, I'm not ready to see Maggie again. I'm not ready to see any of it. I welcome very much so this break and where we get to see the kingdom finally. Ever since the season 7 Comic-Con trailer, I have been so excited and thrilled to finally see the kingdom come to life off the comic pages and to finally meet Ezekiel and Shiva. I mean, come on, who isn't excited about Shiva? So, where did we leave Carol and Morgan last in season 6? We left them, Carol is near death. I mean, she's really at death's door right now. She's severely injured, has multiple gunshot wounds, and Morgan killed for the very first time in a very long time the savior who was trying to kill Carol. And right after all of this happens, two men from the kingdom show up. They have kind of, you know, they're a little wary of each other at first, but Morgan sticks out his hand, they shake hands, and it looks to me like they're going to take Carol to the kingdom so that she can get help. Now, in the promo for next week's episode, the sneak peek that we got, we see Morgan pushing Carol around the kingdom. She's seeing it from for what looks like the very first time, probably since being awake. And I was amazed by all of the crops they had there, and they have a corral with horses, and they have a little school going on, and it just looks like a very peaceful community. This is definitely going to be a welcome break for Carol, a fresh start for her. And we see her, she's very concerned about what Morgan has potentially told these people. You know, she says, but what do they know about us? Did you tell, you know, and Morgan is kind of whispering to her and basically saying they only know what I've told them, which is that you were hurt. You know, they saw you get hurt, they saw what I did to the savior, and they helped you, and now I'm helping them. So then he's going to introduce her to King Ezekiel, and I love that moment when he pauses and when she asks, you know, what's his name, and he pauses for a moment, like it's so goofy he doesn't even want to say it out loud, and he says King Ezekiel, and then he kind of pushes her a little bit faster, you know, knowing that she's gonna be like, what? And he says, you know, he's a unique guy, he likes to do things his way. I think he said something like that. So kind of the way I think this episode is gonna go is in the Comic-Con trailer, we did see a couple glimpses of Morgan walking along behind the kingdoms. I don't even know what to call them. It's so easy to say like the saviors or the survivors, the guards from the kingdom. We see him walking along there. We also see Carol at one point, and it kind of looks to me like this episode might open up with them traveling to the kingdom still. So shortly after the end, you know, where we left off in season 6, then we will meet Ezekiel for the very first time when Carol wakes up. So Carol wakes up, she's healing in a wheelchair, and now that she's awake, she needs to be introduced to Ezekiel. So then that's when I think we're gonna get our very first peek at Ezekiel and Shiva. And we saw in the Comic-Con trailer, Carol was very weird. We only saw one glimpse of Carol, so we knew she survived. But she says, I don't know what the hell's going on, in the most wonderful way. And she seems like high on medicine or something. And I immediately thought, though, before I thought, oh, she's, you know, she's drugged up from surgery or whatever they did to her, I thought she was putting on another show, you know, taking on some different persona like she does when she came to Alexandria. And then a lot of people were saying, you know, when I said that, a lot of other viewers were saying, no, you know, she's probably drugged up on medicine from whatever they did to her, surgery, whatever had to be done. So she's just being goofy. But we see in the previous scene here, now that we've seen the sneak peek, that she's completely normal. Like, she's not drugged out, she's not high on medicine or anything like that. And then we see, you know, in the Comic-Con trailer that when she's meeting Ezekiel, she's acting like that. And so I think Carol is always on her guard when meeting new people, okay? And so I 100% think that she is going to see Ezekiel and be wary of meeting a new person. And she, you know, it very clearly to Morgan, she doesn't want these people to know what she's done, what kind of life she's lived up until now. And I think she's going to realize that she can have a fresh start here, you know, that this is a calm place and nobody knows her, nobody but Morgan. And she can really start over and heal and come back from all of the things that she's done that have broken her, you know? And I think this is gonna be a great place for her. Carol is, I love Carol. She's one of my favorite characters. I was so devastated when I thought she was going to die in season 6. I mean, it just really hurt me, and I didn't really like the way her character was going. I understood it, but it wasn't like, you know, I'm not a big fan. I love the Carol that's the wolf, or that, you know, saves them from Terminus. Like, I love that Carol, but it's understandable that being that person for so long can really take its toll on you, you know, and so it's taking its toll on her. So I'm excited to see where she goes from here. She's gonna be healing. She's gonna meet Ezekiel, and I think she's really gonna find that she loves being there. And then I think later on, this is a spoiler alert for the comics only, so only if you haven't read the comics up to meeting Ezekiel in the kingdom. Not a big spoiler or anything, but just in case, spoiler alert. So the kingdom, for those of you who don't know, and King Ezekiel will eventually become allies in the war against Negan, with Rick and crew there at Alexandria, along with the Hilltop and Gregory, and, you know, if Maggie stays at the Hilltop like she does in the comics. So they eventually all come together and work to fight against Negan, and it doesn't happen right away. Obviously, it's going to be a while before anything happens to Negan. It's going to be a while before we get to the, you know, all-out war and this war against Negan. But I think eventually Rick is going to come to, you know, Jesus or somebody is going to, because Jesus and the Hilltop, I believe they know in the television show. I mean, in the comic, I knew they know. Now I'm not making any sense. In the television show, I'm pretty sure that the Hilltop is already aware of the kingdom. Maybe they even work together here. So what I think is going to happen is that Rick is going to, you know, want to get people together, want to get people from the Hilltop to help fight against Negan. And then someone there, maybe even Jesus, is going to tell them about King Ezekiel and the kingdom and how they can help. And then Rick will go there and he will see Carol and Morgan. Now, I'm not sure Morgan's gonna stay the entire time. There were a couple scenes, I'm not gonna put it in this promo review, but there were a couple scenes in one of, not the Comic-Con trailer, but it was one of the season 7 sneak peeks before, you know, back in September. You can see it on the AMC YouTube channel. But there were a couple scenes there where it looks like Negan is kind of going out away from the kingdom and exploring or doing something. I don't think that he's going to be as happy there at the kingdom as Carol is, quite frankly. And we see some of the kingdom's guards come out to find him. So, and they say, we've been looking for you. So it sounds like maybe they're not as happy with Morgan going out on his own. Don't know much about that, but just thought I would throw that in there as well. That's pretty much it for my predictions. I'm really looking forward to this episode. In the episode description on the television, it's very short, but it says something like, oh, let me look real fast. So for the description of the episode, it says a number of familiar faces. And then something like, find the, it's only like 2 sentences long. I don't know why I can't remember it. I've looked at it like 3 times. Find that the well-established community may seem too good to be true. So for me, a number of familiar faces. Now, we still have Tara and Heath out on their own. They were out on a run, like a week or 2 long run. They don't know anything. They don't know about Denise, poor Tara. They don't know about Negan. They don't know about Glenn's death, Abe's death, anything like that. I mean, they knew about Negan, but they don't know like anything else, you know, that's happened has happened in like the short amount of time here, right? So we did see in the Comic-Con trailer that Tara and Heath get themselves into a bit of trouble. Now, in the description, I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but I just kind of wondered if maybe we'll get a little glimpse of them, like maybe some of the kingdom's guards, you know, actually find them and rescue them or help them out. Because we do see Tara and it looks like she's in a stinky situation there. And just the fact that it said a number of familiar faces, like it doesn't just say like Carol or Morgan, you know, I mean, the descriptions never like to give anything away, but you would think that when it says a number of familiar faces, like when I hear that, a number of faces, like it makes me think more than just two. I feel like they would say something else if it was just Carol and Morgan. They may not say their names, but I feel like they would not say a number of familiar faces. So it would be really interesting to see if Carolyn and Morgan meet Tara and Heath there. I'm like really up in the air as if that's gonna happen or not, but just thought I would throw that out there because we still haven't seen them at all, and I have no idea when we'll get to see them next. Okay, this video is getting long, of course, so that's it for my predictions for next week's episode. Please let me know what your predictions are in the comments, and we can talk more there. I love you guys. I love that we can share this together. I will see you next time with my reaction video for episode 2. I'm so excited to see Carol. Okay, bye.